Hey guys, WantClue here. I hope all of you are doing really well and having a really great day. Are you still running your Nerdminer with the standard firmware and standard configuration when it comes to the hardware? Well, you might need to take a look into this video, so stick with me. What's up everybody? I hope everybody of you is doing really well. I do have something for you today. I want to announce a new product, which is called NerdNOS. This is a collaboration between Public Pool, PMax and me, and we have created a new product which is awesome and which is an upgrade for your Nerdminer. So probably some of you already do know what the Nerdminer is. It is basically this little LilyGo T display. It does have an ESP32 on it, like the Bitaxe do, and it actually mines Bitcoin at roughly 70 to 80 kilo hashes, so not that much, like 70 to 80,000 hashes per second. The thing is, if you do consider this compared to a Bitaxe, it is pretty low. Like 1.3 million of these little Nerdminers would be needed to be the equivalent of one Bitaxe. So you do get the point that running something like this is probably not the best idea, but it is still fun to learn about Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining in general. But today we have something here which is awesome to upgrade your device. This here. This is the NerdNOS, which basically is an extra PCB that you attach to the back of your Nerdminer. You flash your new firmware onto it, and then it will run at roughly 100 gigahashes. It depends. Some of these chips that are soldered on here performing better, some of them perform a little bit worse. So the current ones that are out there are performing something between 50 to 100 gigahashes, but in the future I'm aiming to make sure that most of them are running at 100 gigahashes. But you do get the point here probably. With that, we are already boosting the hash rate of this little device by a factor of roughly 1.4 million in the multiplication, which is just insane. And the power consumption is even better. We're sitting at like 7 to 8 watts. Now, if you do compare this to a Bitaxe, we are still doing really bad when it comes to the efficiency. But what this device is, a cheap and reliable upgrade for your Nerdminer. Instead of consuming plenty of resources on a pool like Public Pool, where over 50 to 60,000 of these Nerdminers are running, you can actually hook up a NerdNOS to them and gain so much hash power compared to just the Nerdminer itself. So that's what we're trying to do today. We're trying to actually just apply this, and you do see all we need to do is we need to have this LilyGo T display with the soldered on male pins, and then we can attach the NerdNOS to the back of it. You also do see here are two pins. These are for power, for the fan. So these ones will be used for fan, and I do have a little fan here with me. You do see I don't actually have a case because I did not design a case, but a couple of these resellers that are out there, and there will be links in the video description down below if you want to check them out and make sure that you do get the cheapest price wherever they are available. They do design their own cases. We just basically designed the software and the hardware of this device. And what's cool about this, especially the NerdNOS itself, is it utilizes old ASIC chips. So there's an ASIC chip underneath this heatsink, and the idea is to refurbish old miners. The chip on here is an old S17 miner chip, the BM1397, which comes from the S17T and the S17 Plus probably. It depends on the model you're using, because also these chips underneath, they do have different models. Now, this one here in particular has a soldered on heatsink, so you cannot take this off. It's soldered onto the ASIC chip itself. And what's also cool is, in the future, they will look a little bit different. More like this, with another heatsink. Here you do see this one is actually, you can actually put this one off or put it back on if you want to do that, so you can remove the heatsink, which is nice. Both of these heatsinks are really reliable. This one performs a little bit better, but for the current one I'm using this heatsink because this is also refurbished from these old miners. So you do get it. I'm trying to be as cheap as possible when it comes to the production of these units, which is just amazing because we can achieve prices that are so low and giving more people the option and possibility to join into the mining scene with some sort of a reliable hash rate. Still, 100 gigahashes is probably not the best if you're comparing it to big mining machines with a couple of terahashes, that's for sure, but it's way better than just running a Nerdminer. And that's the total goal about this. So let me quickly put on the power to the fan. And here the orientation is really important. The pin closest to the USB port is for the positive and the other one is for the negative. Now you're wondering probably, hey WantClue, what the heck? We do have two USB ports on here. Yep, that's for sure. So you do have USB on the screen, and if you would try to power it from the screen, this extra board will not be powered. There's a little diode here which does not allow any current flowing from the display to the extra PCB here, but the other way around it works. This is for safety protection because we don't want to overdraw on the pins of the display. So basically, if you do have a Nerdminer with the male pins and you want to upgrade it, there are a couple of stores out there that do give you the option to upgrade it. Currently, the only upgrade kits are available over at go.me. Links to that will be in the description down below. But you can also get at various other stores a complete build of this. If you do have a miner, a Nerdminer, and you want to upgrade with the upgrade kit, what you need to do is you need to hop over to my web flasher and you need to flash to the USB port of the display the firmware of the NerdNOS. Then you can start mining to your desired pool. When you have done that, you can simply plug in the USB to the port of the PCB here from the NerdNOS, and then you should be ready to go. So let's quickly do that and give you guys a quick overview of how this looks. Here we go, we do see there's the screen of NerdNOS and it is already starting to hash. We already do get insane hash rate, and here comes the catch. Initially this looks like perfect hash rate, what the heck is going on, but you do see it, the hash rate is dropping down already. So what will happen is it takes about 5 to 10 minutes for the device to settle down, and then you will have the average hash rate of it. It will fluctuate a little bit, sometimes it will be a little bit lower, sometimes it will be a little bit higher. That's totally normal. And while we are taking a look here on this device, let me quickly put this to the side so that it can do its thing, and let's quickly take a look on the screen of my power bank where it is running off. We do see it is drawing around 7 to 8 watts, which is totally fine, and therefore this is like a really tiny home miner. So let me quickly show you on this screen here all the stats that you do get. So on the top here you do get the ASIC temperature. On the second line you will get the best difficulty. So on the second line you will get the best difficulty. Below that are the total shares that you have sent over to the pool. In the bottom left you will see your current hash rate, and the bottom right, in this case it will still say million hashes, but I've already updated the firmware. Now you will see happy hashing on this part of the screen and no longer million hashes. This is a function that's no longer working on this device. But you do get the point here. This is running really nice. It's also depending on what kind of fan you do use, if it will be loud or not. You do see that we only have 2 pins on this device here, so therefore this device will always run at 100% fan speed. There is no curve for the fan, there is no adjustment for the fan. If you want to adjust your fan, you would probably need to use something like a resistor, but for this particular mini miner I was not opting for that. I was opting for the cheapest, or we were opting for the cheapest possible way, and therefore this is how it looks. There will probably be a couple of updates in the future when it comes to the hardware, so these models will be named differently, but for now this is NerdNOS. A nice little miner with a little bit of hash rate, and as I said, it depends on what kind of hash rate you do see on the screen. We're dropping really low here. Some of these chips are really bad, some of them are a little bit better, but most of the stores that are offering these devices now, they do have a range between 80 to 100 or to 120 gigahashes. So I'm trying to sort out all these low performing models, and they will be sold at a way cheaper price than the retail units. But with that, I do think it's really nice, and we can take a quick look on the web flasher, because from the setup on this device, everything is the same like on your Nerdminer. Nothing really has changed. So with that, I thank everybody for tuning in here. I hope you liked this new video about NerdNOS, the new product that we do get here, and who knows what will happen with these devices and if we will hit a block ever with them. So thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.